And flea flicker, touchdown, boop. Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is The Thunder Show, aka WLTV, America's #1 internet show on vino. And we are here today on a very gloomy yet extremely bright Monday as your New York Jets have now, on Thanksgiving basically, finally achieved their second victory of the season, and in shocking and stunning fashion by beating one of the best teams in the league, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that traditionally has dominated us. I think we've only beaten them one other time, and Len, my good friend Len Thompson, and all the other Pittsburgh Steeler fans, Danny Zavala, the big guy in shipping, who is sad this afternoon, are shocked. I'm shocked. We can go into it quite a bit, but we're not going to because we have 6 wines here today. We have a focus for you, and I don't really want to go too deep into it, but obviously it was a very nice day. And speaking of nice days, I want to give 2 birthday shout-outs. One to Denise Miller, Brandon M's wife, Denise. Brandon M, one of the original Vaniacs, been with us from episode 4 or 5, so big shout-out to her. She had a birthday over the weekend. And to Richard Bowden, who's also a big-time Vaniac, been with us a long time. His son-in-law and daughter, Nicole and Paul, want to wish him a fabulous birthday. He had a big birthday on Sunday. Richard has been a long-time Vaniac as well, and I want to thank him for that. And obviously, we're in a good mood today. We've got 6 wines that potentially bring the thunder. And we've got our Vaniac glass here today. And this is the one that says changing the wine world, whether you like it or not. And I have to give a big shout-out to SoCal. You know, he sent these over a while ago. I haven't given him a shout-out, so he deserves it. John Alexander is his real name, SoCal, his Vaniac name. Big shout-out to you. And we're going to taste through these 6 wines. I'm really excited. I want to get really laser-focused for you because I know Thanksgiving is a big wine holiday, and we have the Thanksgiving pack coming up this Thursday, so I hope you bring all your friends and family and sit down and taste along. I'm really excited about that. That's going to be awesome. We're going to tape that probably tomorrow or Wednesday for you for Thursday. And also, I've got a question of the day. We're going to be bringing back questions of the day every day using the Ask Gary app. A lot of you, hundreds of you, obviously because of the bribe, asked questions over the weekend. I'm still trying to catch up. I did a whole bunch. We still got a bunch in the queue. But every show now, I will be answering a question that is put in that app. I think that interaction is great. A lot of people like that mod, so we've got to bring that back. And so without further ado, let's get into the wines today because there's a whole slew of them. And I'm really darn excited. And today, in a little bit, I will be announcing the contest on how you can join me right here, no matter where you are in the world. I'll be drawing, and it's going to be awesome. So let's get right into it. This is the Yamhill 2006 Riesling from Oregon. $11 US. Now an $11 Oregon product, maybe like number 11 from Oregon University, Kellen Clemens. Is that ironic? By the way, no joke, did not plan that. Mott, that's pretty wild. Did not plan that, but sure darn happy, and it's green. Everything is right. This wine is going to rock. I already predict 100-point wine right here for us. So, you know, Rieslings are great during turkey time, so we pull this one out of our hat. Let's give it a little bit of a sniffy sniff. A beautiful nose, young buck kind of nose with big potential. No, just kidding. Really nice nose, very fruity. It's got a little bit of an apple cider kind of component coming through. Very spritzy and fresh, like you'd expect from a Riesling. Some honeycomb, a little bit of cantaloupe on the nose as well. So cantaloupe and apples, I've never done that fruit salad combo, but that's what's going down on this nose. Let's give it a whirl. Very flinty on the mouthfeel. I get like a bluestone. I feel like taking 2 bluestones, trying to start a fire in the wilderness. Definitely a little bit more residual sugar than I anticipated. Actually, would probably have now had it last, knowing that the sugar level was as high. I did not realize that. 12.1% alcohol content. I really get a peachy kind of, almost like a, what's the Prosecco and peach kind of drink? What do they call that thing? Blah, 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 blah. Can't remember. Anyway, really kind of like an aperitif, breakfast kind of drink, really more than anything else. very, very crisp and clean, and just a solid Riesling. I can obviously see a lot of people enjoying this wine. It's a little bit more sugar-fied than I expected, so you've got to know that coming in, almost like a Spatlese, but really a Bellini. You know, that's what they call it. Anyway, a solid Riesling effort. I'm going to go 87 points. It didn't blow me away. Didn't have as much character or acidity as I'd hoped, especially in a number 11 green Oregon product, you know. But it is what it is. We got to call it like we see it. And it's a good entry-level Riesling, something I think people would enjoy, but you've got to be prepared. You know, a really good wine for people that are segueing from white Zinfandel. I know a lot of viewers who are first-time wine drinkers or just getting into it, having trouble finding that wine to drink for themselves outside of white Zin. This may be a really good play, so seek it out. So a lot of the questions and emails I got over the weekend were, one, where it was Friday's show, and I apologize for that. I tried to sneak it in on Thursday because I was out of town on Friday, wasn't able to make it happen, so I apologize for that. Number two was, why don't you like Beaujolais? And that's a big, big, big statement, so I've got to rebuttal it, because I love Beaujolais. As a matter of fact, if you watch some of the older Beaujolais episodes, I think Beaujolais are some of the best values in the world. Beaujolais and crappy Beaujolais and/or, let's say, Beaujolais Nouveau from George de Boeuf I didn't enjoy is a whole different story. But what we have in front of us here is a producer that I think does a great job year in and year out. We'll have to see what this comes in. This is the Domaine Duchon Milan-Avant Cuvée Via Vines, meaning old vines, 2006. This is unfiltered, an $18 wine, very serious. Don't forget Beaujolais is from Burgundy, the Burgundy region, so these are very serious wines. From the Gamay grape, this wine comes, 18 bones, not inexpensive, not what you think of off the top of your head when you're talking about Beaujolais, but it can get very serious very quickly. Let's see what's going on here. Let me give it it's got some nice color. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. That really vibrant cranberry component that we enjoy so much in Beaujolais is coming through in here. I also get a little bit of dirt action. The sand and dirt mixed in with the cranberries is quite interesting, like dropping some cranberries on the beach. Not bad at all on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. Really great. Ooh. Really ripe and intense, dry, sour, and bitter raspberry flavor on the back end of your palate, which is just dynamite. Great medium body mouthfeel. I almost get a sense of gaminess, almost like boar's blood action going on in your mouthfeel. Really intense, focused wine, very solid. Has a nice medium body, so this is a great red wine to drink with fish. Everybody always asks me, Gary, I need a red wine with fish. This is lightning on point. Whatever that means, it is the kind of wine that I would adore to eat with a fish, a cod, something of that nature. So very polished. There's a floral component. I get a beautiful kind of, what are those flowers like that have like the face on it? It looks like a face. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a cat. Pansies, is it? That's what it smells like, those flowers. I get the flower at the face. I think they're pansies. I think you're right. Component on this wine, mixed in with that cranberry and dirt. I get that really sour raspberry. This is very pretty Beaujolais. Missing a little the oomph that I like from top crew Beaujolais. And again, at $18, not a steal, not a $5 wine. I'm going to score this wine 89 points. I like it. I think the 04 effort of this wine was much better at this point, just going back in my mindset. However, this is a great example of high-quality Beaujolais, and I'm pretty pumped. I really brought out one that I thought would show well, and it has. Not as well as I'd hoped. I thought this was a 91, 92 potential Beaujolais. He's done it in the past, but still a very fine effort, and another good example of that. I don't believe Beaujolais stink, but, that you've got to really go to the cru level. You got to go to Milan-Avant, you got to go to Morgon, Saint Julien. You got to kind of step up the ladder. You start getting some real high quality stuff. Actually, somewhat slightly disappointed by this effort, but still a very good wine. I mean, really quite good. And for $18, an out and out value-esque. You know, not all the way there, but definitely if you're looking to see what serious Beaujolais is about, this is definitely the way to go. Let's get going because we've got a lot of wines today, Matt. The Sente Leocade Minofwah, and this is, Southwest France. We love what's going on in Minofwah. 2005 vintage. This is 50% Syrah, 25% Grenache, 25% Carignan, $8. Couple emails over the weekend for me to try this based off the fact we've been talking about Provence and Languedoc and Southwest France wines. So I'm excited. People seem to be really high in this, though we're about over our last 9 with recommended stuff on the show. Let's see if this comes through. 8 bones. Really nice price point. Let's give it a little bit of a sniffy sniff. Off to a really good start. Really enjoying the fresh, grounded white pepper component on the nose. I'm getting some bell peppers as well. There's a little bit of black licorice component coming through here as well, which is quite nice. I get a little hint of gaminess in this as well. Strawberries. Wow, this is a really exotic nose for an $8 wine, so this is off to a very good start. When you bring the bouquet this way, to me, under $10, I'm already in the hizzy with you, already willing to buy 3 bottles of you, already friends with you. So this is off to a very nice start. There's like a smoky kind of component, very interesting. Pretty. Let's give it a whirl. There's something here I can't put my finger on that I'm dying to before I get into it. Almost like an orange marmalade kind of component. Really good. The nose is spectacular. Let's give it a whirl. Yep. The streak is over. Kind of like the Jets had like a 7-game or 6-game losing streak. The viewers are finally off the schneid. This is an absolute great effort. Great job by Jim in Texas. And who was the other? Sandy, I think. And maybe Arkansas or Alabama. Going to the South. Brought the Thunder. This is a great job, guys. Thank you for pointing this out. I agree with you 100%. This is a steal at $8. Tremendous mouthfeel. Great polish, excellent elegance. This is where these Rhone varietals kick some serious A. I mean, I'm just completely blown away. With the US dollar where it is, we can still get wine like this for 8 bones. This is why I adore this part of the world. Portugal, Southwest France continue to shock me in value. Great structure, great complexity. If you like good black pepper, I get a red beet component in this wine. That's what I'm loving here. Red beets, and I mean pretty, coming throughout the entire mouthfeel. Mixed in with hints of black raspberry, blackberries, just a very polished, I'm starting to get myself excited. I want to taste it again. I just really can't see anybody disliking this wine out and out. There's just way too much going on. Kudos. Kudos, kudos, kudos. On a great effort. I'm going to have to go 90 points on this wine. For 8 bones, I'm going to get a bunch of emails. Oh, why did you sell out? Hopefully you can find this around the country. Extremely fine effort. Gorgeous wine. Great wine. Just awesome. Good wine. I like that. Let's move on. Another wine that I think I noticed some people talking about on the boards. This is the Klein 2006 Ancient Vines Zinfandel. 14.5% alcohol. Monster. Klein, tremendous producer. I'm dying to try this wine. $12. My real goal today, to be honest with you, was to really pick out wines that I thought would all come across. I was going for the 6 for 6. Kind of like a great Jacoby Ellsbury day. But, so far, the first 2 wines kind of underperformed for what I thought they were. The third wine well exceeded. Let's see if the next 3 can kind of come through. This one should. It's a great producer. Traditionally, really excellent wines. $12. We're all looking for value Zinfandels. You buy 2 bottles of this instead of 1 Frank family that everybody keeps emailing me about. Let's see if this brings what we think it's going to bring. As you can see, there's some really good color, and I think we need to pour out some wine for all the Pittsburgh Steeler fans that are just completely saddened by the shocking loss that they were taken to town in the Meadowlands, where it looked like it was a Steelers home game, by the way. Great job by Steeler fans. They always travel. I got to give them that. But they were shocked. They were shocked. Big Ben under pressure all day. Let's give it a little bit of a sniffy sniff. Why do I always think clouds? Actually, you know what this smells like? The first smell really made me think of? Sushi was the first thing that came to mind. It really smells like some sushi with rice and little soy sauce component. Really, the soy sauce is what's getting me, isn't it? There's some soy sauce components here. I get a really coffee, like a white chocolate mocha drink from Starbucks, $8. Amazing, what branding. I'm also getting a spearmint component. I'm getting some black licorice on this as well. But really towards the soy sauce on this wine. So kind of interesting. Let's give it a whirl. Some good rich fruit. Very obvious fruit. I get a little bit of like a Werther's Original kind of going on here. I get some really good strawberry Twizzlers, which are fine. All in all, though, a little candified for me. A little fake. Little oak monster. Not completely up my alley, actually. A little bit disappointed with this effort as well. Getting a little too fake. A little too soda pop era for me. It's delicious. I can see a lot of people liking this. There's some sweetness. The residual sugar is a lot higher than I'd like to see in a Zinfandel. There's just a real, exactly what I was talking about with the Frank family, where it was like real and complex, and like a Bordeaux lover could love this. This is really a one-dimensional guy. I mean, this is, you know, if you love big Shirazes from Barossa Valley, fruit bombs, I understand. And listen, there's a time and place for those. I think I get a bad rap for not liking those wines. I do like them when the fruit is pure and real. We had one the other day that I liked from that area. This is just not it for me. I'm going to score this wine 85 points because it's good. And a wine that I would definitely consider to pop with some pasta, for example. Could be fun, you know, at like, you know, Olive Garden if there was nothing else on the list. But, you know, I'm going to pass on this wine. I just think there's a lot of Zinfandels that have done a much better job. To think that this is 50% more expensive than the Minofwah from St. Locati, it's just, it's inconceivable to me. 3 bottles to 2 bottles of this, there's just no doubt in my mind where the pleasure level would be here and here. Kind of like winning or losing. Losing, Pittsburgh fans, losing. So I'm going to give it a pass all in all. It's not a horrible wine. I've got to score it relatively solid because it is decent, but really not up to my snuff. Let's now jump in to the question of the day. Well, it's not the question of the day because that's the question of the day. This is the Ask Gary thing of the day, and we'll also tell you about the big announcement. We'll do that right now. Lance Ortiz asks, which white wines would you pair with Maryland crab cakes? Lance, great question. I think a lot of people would like to know that. I'm very high on Oh, that was a good throw. Not Ben, but Kellen. I'm really high on Riesling Spatlese from Germany in this scenario. I like the sugar, maybe even the Yamhill Riesling. I'd like Rieslings that bring a little residual sugar with Maryland crab cake has always been my favorite pairing. Once in a blue moon, last time I was there, Lizzie and I went to Maryland in the fall, and I did have a Viognier Roussan Marsan Rhone white varietal blend. I think it was actually from California. Can't remember the producer, but was very good. It was a good combo, and the oiliness actually worked real well with the Maryland crab cake. So I would go with Rhone white varietal blends and/or Riesling Spatlese. I just think that those are really the 2 places to go. Now, announcing the contest. Mott, link it up. You may also notice it here on the side, right under the Ask Gary section. We are doing the Wine Library Widget Blog Challenge. And what we're doing is, we've got 4 different widgets that you can put on your blog. Mott, link it up again, please. Don't forget, Mott, got it. Pick any of the 4, then you'll see within the page, you'll see that you can leave your name and your URL. We're going to get all those names and URLs. We're going to confirm that the widget is on your blog again, and then we're going to chop them up onto little pieces, bring the Jets bucket, pull out a name, and no matter where you are in the world, Denmark, Germany, wherever, we will fly you in and you will be on the show. The amount of time you have until you post this on your blog is December 5th at midnight. That's when we're going to check all the things, confirm them. If they're up, good. And we'll print the stickers, little piece of paper. And on the show on the 6th, I will pull the winning name. Hopefully you can do it right away. We'd love to have you on this year. If not with the holidays and everything, we can do it next year. But that's what we're going to do. It is going to be downright exciting. Plus, all 4 widgets are really cool. We worked a lot with trying to make these valuable for your blog, for you. Now, I know a lot of you have put up the badges that we've had in the past. We're going to only go with these 4. You can replace them or add them on. That's up to you. We honestly feel that these badges or widgets actually bring a lot more value to your blog, so I think you'll like that. So, super excited. Make sure when you copy the code and put it on your blog, you're also filling out your name and URL that's on that page, and we'll have you here soon on the Thunder Show. I'm dying to see who wins. Fly out here. It's going to be awesome. We will pay for your flight and your stay. So it will be pretty rad to win.
Stay at my house.
They're going to stay at your house. You're right, Mom. Hopefully they're from New Jersey. That would be really awesome. Just pick them up on the way to work. Let's move on. And we're going to go to the Provence. Again, staying focused on this Southwest France theme, which has been really good to us. The Trinet Saint Auguste 2003. This is a Cabernet Syrah Merlot blend from Provence, $12 US. Small, tiny producer. And really, really excited about trying this. Again, I've heard some really good things about this wine. Really dark, explosive wine it's supposed to be, so let's see what's going on here. 2003 vintage, was a hotter vintage, so the fruit may be more at the forefront. Let's see what's going on here. Again, predominantly Cab with some Syrah and Merlot blended in. Some really great color. Really dark, actually, for a $12 wine. Let's give it a little bit of a sniffy snip. Explosive on the nose, right? It's taking over the entire room. Beautiful, ripe strawberries and cherries coming through on the nose. Just very red berry-esque on the nose. I'm also getting like a liqueur kind of component. Almost like this is like a flamboyant, just really, really different on the nose. Very intense. Almost like a shot of cognac has entered this wine's bouquet. So really intense. Don't make that mistake for alcohol. It's really not that. It's just a really intense, almost like, blintzes, that you have in the for breakfast in Paris, and it's my grandma makes them, and you sometimes pour like cognac on them, and then the berry sauce. That's really what I'm getting here. It's like a really expensive $50 Paris breakfast smell coming through on the nose in this. Really quite awesome. That's all I can really say. Really good nose. Let's give it a whirl. These lesser-known France appellations are really starting to impress me. I mean, we're on a run now on the Thunder Show. I think we may need to do an episode with like 6 or 10 of them just to see if we can find a bad one. Once again, $12, and comparing it to the last wine, this is a monster alcoholic, rich, explosive. I mean, this is a turkey wine. The Trinet it's excellent. It's very rich and explosive. Tons of fruit, very polished, nice long finish, elegant, well made, structured. I get really nice, and it really makes your palate nice and dry. It's real. There's a fruit component to this that is so real, while I'm still tasting a rocky, gravelly, it's kind of like you played football and you got tackled and the ball was stuck and your mouth went directly into the ground. There was no stopping it. Did you chip the tooth? You chipped the tooth, but it was okay. You got the first down, and you got to put some flavors into your mouth that later in years to come you would use on the Thunder Show. Really, chalky, dirty, like real rich, wet soil, not sand. Like the soil after a snowstorm or rain. It's not muddy though, just damp, like 3 days later. Little hints of grass and worms. I mean, it's got the earthy tones, yet still surrounded by very dark blackberries, blueberries, cassis, really dark fruit flavors. This is where it's at. Nice, dry, long finish. I'm going to score this wine 90 points as well. I mean, it's a real challenge. I'd like to go back to the Minofwah. It's really funny. And, it's really funny how this worked out. Having the Klein Zin in between these two wines was really good for me. Really, just once again, reiterated what fake fruit compared to true fruit, a little balance is what some of these California wines desperately need. Because the first Minofwah is a lot less American or New World than the Trini that I did right now, but it just shows, wow, it's really interesting. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I would wish that everybody had the ability to try these 3 wines in consecutive order like I had, because it really does show to me what the difference between some sort of balance or a one-dimensional attack is. And really, that's what so many of these New World wines are. They're just one-dimensional attacks. They give you fruit, explosiveness, and you're tricked by them. They have higher residual sugars, and you're enjoying them, and they're delicious, and I get it. And I like them too, and I'm not peeing on them. Please don't think that I'm going in that direction. But I'm telling you, like in life, think about it. You know, think about that fun girl, right? It's all fun, but it's not balanced, right? No conversation. So that's really how I look at these wines. The first and third wine in this balance, in this little row, you can marry. The second one you can date, but only maybe even a half a date, because the second one wasn't even that fun. I mean, there's a lot of Australian Shirazes I'd rather have. So, all in all, another exceptional effort, and a little bit more towards the New World. So, the Trinis, I can see a lot of people liking. I think it even covers more of a span than the Minofwah. 90 points again, and just a blowout wine for 12 bones. I mean, really good. And now we're treating ourselves. This is the Jean-Michel Guillaume Givry Chambertin Cuvée Pierre Galland 2005. Just an amazing producer who I've had a lot of respect for. 2005 is shaping up to be a legendary vintage in red Burgundy. The prices are out of control. This wine rolls in at $50 US, and it's a value, considered a value. Just low production, amazing year. Givry Chambertin is an area where Pinot Noir just thrives. I'm just super excited about trying this wine. And after doing some nice value-driven wines, it's nice to finish off with a very serious $50 Pinot from a special vintage. Some beautiful, beautiful color. Let's give it a little bit of a sniffy sniff. And who doesn't like jockstrap filled with pickles? Because let me tell you right now, this is man sweat with pickles all around, and very pickle driven. Very sauerkraut pickles, pickled tomatoes. You know those green pickled tomatoes? You ever have those? Those are really nice. This is really exotic on the nose. Smoked ham, pig snout, sauerkraut. I mean, this is European fare meals. This is nice. It just smells delicious. I'm really into pickled stuff and sauerkraut, and that's what's really blowing me over here on the nose. Again, you got to know your palate, though. A lot of people don't adore or enjoy that, so that's that. Let's give it a whirl. This is where it always gets wild. I'm always blown away how pickly it tastes, and then how fruity the wine actually is. This is how Pinot's supposed to be. I mean, I'm having a really good... This is a good show for me. Again, New World fans, it's been a tough episode for you New World fans. You know, you may have to really... Ooh, I got tipped. See, you know, when you get pressured, if you don't make the cup, you know, if the quarterback's not comfortable, you're going to lose. Just really... You know, we had 9 sacks all year. We had 7 yesterday, man. You know, if you're a New World fan, a lot of these wines are not going to be up your alley that I've loved. I mean, this is a very traditional old world wine. I get really great sauerkraut, cabbage kind of components. There is a very sour cherry component to this wine. That's the only fruit on the mouthfeel. I get beautiful dill. I get a bark component. I also almost get like a wet dog feeling coming through on this wine all in all. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, it just feels like, you know, your dog came in and he's wet and he's stinky and you like it. You know how you like your wet dog. I could see the Guillaume family watching this clip because somebody sent it to them and they're all excited and they're like, wet dog? Crazy Americans. Anyway, just a dynamite, explosive, complex Pinot Noir. If you're rolling deep and heavy and VIP like Jay-Z, and I can't stop listening to Rock Boys, by the way. Anyway, if you're rolling that deep and you can afford it, here is a wine you may want to consider for Thanksgiving. It might have to sneak into my Sasha and Tamara's house this Thursday. I want everybody to try this. This is the real deal. A little young. I'm a little bit disappointed. The tannins are real tight. This is not for today. Really, this is for Thanksgiving 2012. That's when you look like a superstar. This is more of a put-away wine. I've got to admit, the tannins are on fire. They're razor sharp, like Blanca in Mortal Kombat on my palate. But I'm going to still get over it, but that's because I'm very used to young wine. Some of the people out there watching who are not used to drinking barrel samples and very young wine like I am, this is a wine you want to put away. This is 4 to 12 years in the cellar, 2-3 hours of decanting. A monster effort, though. I'm going 92 plus on this sensational 2005 Burgundy, and let me tell you something, this was an absolute delight to do this show. A very solid lineup. I tried real hard. A couple things, the Klein really disappointed me. I gotta admit, the Yamhill also disappointed me. And the Beaujolais kind of disappointed me. But, big day for France. 3 for 3. Wow. Anyway, question of the day. What are you drinking for Thanksgiving? I want to know, because I want to sneak maybe 1 or 2 things from what the Vaniacs are drinking. Because guys, let's be honest, we're all in a very good mood today. The Jets stunned the world because you, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world.